And welcome to Patrick's Models and Transports. Let's do some more work on this signal box. So I'm going to fit the, shall we call this the illumination lens or shade or whatever. It has to go inside this gigantic hole that's there. Right. Spot of glue and glaze as usual. It's a very easy job. We'll just pop some glue and glaze on the back of the paper collar here. Nothing special. This is glued on. Then I'm going to touch up a spot of silver on the handles, the lever handles, and the next thing we'll be doing will be gluing the this side here on. In the meantime, I've ordered some small railwaymen, and so the last thing we'll do once we've fitted the wall and everything, we can get everything painted up, just lean the roof on top and then put the railwayman inside and then finish it off. In the meantime, I can get the railway out, the layout. I've got one last job to do before taking the layout out, which is to work on the goods shed. We'll dedicate a video to that. Because then the last thing we'll do, but we're going to do that once we've got the board in position, we've painted things, and there'll be the houses with the restaurants and the shops. They have to be refurbished, but those are all things that can be done later. You don't need to do them right now. Okay, so that's ready with the glue. Okay, we'll just pop this in. Okay, that's us. There we are. Right in place. So this way we'll be able to just catch the light in there. It goes through the building and it will light both the lower floors and the upper part. Give me a toothpick a minute. That's good. Perfect. Good. That was simple. It's not a structural part. Okay, that's done. Let's have a look at those handles. But just a very quick thing, it's just being excessively. I could even do without, but honestly, I think there should be some shiny metal handles in there. So let's see what I can do with this. I'm going to have to also paint this water crane. I'm having a look at photographs to see what colour. Probably I might go for a grey. I've not done this yet. It's waiting to be done, but it doesn't need to be done right now. Let's get some silver paint. Here's a silver paint. Here's a Vallejo silver paint. Tiny spot, we don't need much. I have to get some new silver. We're getting low on the silver. Okay. I need a brush. I'm just going to wet the brush on a spot of. Oh, that was clever. Just going to wet the brush a minute just to make it a bit damp, but we don't really need to. It's just a matter of a tiny little blob on each handle. How's that? Okay. Okay. This is not really necessary, but it's just to please the eye. Last one. That'll just dry, and that's us. I want to check a thing, see I've got the paint going. I might give the chair another lick of brown because it's a bit scabby. See, we're here. Let's get the brown out. Spot the brown. The chair and the table, some points. So there's only one coat of brown there, so we could just add a wee bit of brown. Yeah. We don't need much. We don't need to waste resources. Let's get a brush. This brush will do the job. Maybe a bit too wet. Let's add a spot of brown to that. More bubbles than anything else. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, let's give this here a wee touch up there. I'll give the table a touch up first of all. And the bench a wee touch up. back of the chair. Okay. Right. I've done that. So that's it. Now we only need a couple of railwaymen here, maybe one there operating the lever, and maybe one here looking out the window. I don't know if I can sit anybody at the table. That might not be feasible, but maybe I could get bloke sitting in this chair here beside the stove having a warm-up. The stovepipe goes through the ceiling. So when the roof's on, here's the roof, and I'm painting the inside of the roof a kind of creamy colour to reflect the light to increase illumination inside. So the roof goes on like that, and then once the roof's on, you just post the stovepipe down, and you make it meet up with the stove which is in there. You see, it has to meet up with the stove. So that's a wee precision job to do. Once we get the roof on, I'll put a blob of glue and glaze on top of the stove. I don't know if you can see well. Maybe yes, maybe no. And then just post the stovepipe in and get it and sit it in place. So that'll be the last thing before closing the roof. So that looks nice. I'm quite pleased. Right, well, let's take the stovepipe out. Oopsie daisy. I'll probably weather the top of the stovepipe a spot with some, give it kind of sooty effect at the top here, just to make it a bit more realistic. But that can be done once it's fitted, so it's not really righto. So that's that done, and we'll just let things set, and then the next job will be to fit the side here, and then the last thing, the two railwaymen inside, and we're very close to, before the railwaymen come, we'll do the painting. We'll actually do all the painting. We have to touch up all the white new styrene on here, of which there is plenty, and even there you can see a new part. See that it will be very nice once it's fitted back together. If I do like this, you can already have an idea of what the signal box will look like once it's reassembled. This is the stairs are here. Let's have a look at the stairs, which have to sort of sit like that. Catch on there like that. At least this is what I think is the best way to sort of just clip them on there. I'm undecided whether to maybe fit this onto a base of some kind to make sure that this, because otherwise the stairs will snap off 100%, especially considering that I'll be taking this in and out of a box. So I might put it, but we'll have to get it in position on the layout before fitting the stairs, and to decide how to handle this thing here, what to do with it. So that's the main thing, because the stairs have to go. I'm going to look at some other photographs and see exactly where the stairs are supposed to. They've got a kind of cut out here like this, so technically they should just slide in there and wedge in there. Maybe I'll have to shorten these handles, these banisters a wee bit. They're supposed to go in those holes, but this stuff was not assembled, was not assembled very well by the very first owner, so we'll do what we can as usual. We have to adapt things. Okay, very well. Here there's a wee gap there. We'll have to maybe add a spot of glue there. Let me feel. Maybe we'll add another spot of glue here just to fill things in a bit. But we can even fill them in with paint. We'll see what to do here. But I think we'll just put a spot of glue and just overpaint the glue here. I think, yes, I think I already have. There's already a glue there, so we just need to overpaint things with grey, matching grey, and that'll do the job. Okay, very well. Or I might put a very fine, I don't know. I think I'll just fill it in somehow. There you can see how, how I fix this, and it's nice and as flush as possible. Okie doke. So we're there, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this job. Cheerio, and see you next time.